agenda.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to the program, 8:40 a.m. And we are now going to be talking to Zama Ntshona, ATM spokesperson, and we are looking at the request for a secret ballot in respect of the report of the Section 194 Committee on the Public Protector. A very good morning to you, Zama. Welcome to the program.
Good morning to you and the viewers and listeners.
Okay, I know as of yesterday there was an issue. We had the suspended public protector wanting to gain access to her office because she felt that the case had now been heard, the inquiry had been done, and she truly believed that it was okay for her to report for duty. But there seemed to have been a huge outcry to that matter. And before we go to the secret ballot, how do you read all of the events from yesterday?
Thank you so much. This matter, it is an inquiry, and not until Parliament and the President make a final determination. Remember, there's a recommendation by committee, and we are yet to make a final determination on the matter. So I see how the public protector would be of the impression that now that the inquiry is over and there has not been a final determination by a body of Parliament and the President, she is now free to go back to work.
How would someone in her position, she's an advocate, an attorney by profession, a qualified one at that, having held a very high office as the public protector, having misread the situation and, created this situation, which I should imagine was embarrassing for both herself and, the government, so to speak.
What was the reason of her staying away? It was to allow for the process to be finalized.
Yeah.
Now, the process has been finalized, and there is no final letter that has been given to her. So what would be the reason of her staying away?
I guess that's the all-important question, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely. So I understand where she's coming from, because the issue was, we do not want you to interfere with anything whilst the process is still ongoing. Now, the process has been finalized, and there is no determination yet. And there is no communication also of what should actually be the next step. So
what is your sense of what the next step should have been? And as I speak with you this morning, because there's been lots of pros and cons to her situation yesterday, there were those members of the public who believed that she has the right to have reported for duty, and there are others who are suggesting she should wait for the findings of the inquiry to then have gone back to office, or if the findings were that she is, she's been suspended, or whatever the findings were, she should really wait for the findings before making herself available to report back on duty. Your sense, what do you truly believe should be the right thing under the current circumstances?
The public is going to be divided on the matter. There's going to be an ongoing debate because
very divided.
Yes, even from inception on this matter, society has been divided. Society has been asking, on one end, that why would an individual with a case finalization that is over 95%, with two consecutive clean audits, first for the office since establishment in 25 years, be the one who is subjected to a fitness to hold office? Whilst the others were saying the 7 cases out of 56,000 were enough to actually remove her. So I'm not surprised that where we are right now, the debate carries on or continues to be there because, in the first place, as we think, as the African Transformation Movement, there was no need for this to start with, because you can't say an individual who has lost 7 cases out of 56,000, and you say that individual is the one who must be subjected to a fitness to hold office, whilst you have unemployment rate and the president is not saying and is not accounting for it. You have municipalities that barely give you 30% of service delivery or even clean audits, and nobody is standing for fitness to hold office. So this is why we would say, as the African Transformation Movement, a concerted effort to undermine or lynch the public protector, because all that is needed are people who are going to bow down to the president, like the Reserve Bank, like SARS, like the acting public protector, Parliament, on the issue of Palapala.
Okay, so as you say, this is a very hotly debated topic within the public domain, undoubtedly in Parliament and in government circles as well. One of the issues that has been also hotly debated is that this case, this inquiry took way too long, and there were a whole host of reasons for why it kept being postponed. Etc. One of the reasons also they said was it was a deliberate ploy by the suspended public protector's legal team to delay the case simply because she needs to still be in office, even though she doesn't report for duty. She still needs to be around uh, till the middle of October. If they dispense with her services right now or pre October, she then loses 10 million rands, which would be paid out to her if she was still in that capacity as a public protector. So there are those people that are suggesting that she and her legal team used very deliberate delay tactics for her to then get this 10 million rand and go away quietly. Your thoughts?
Again, on this issue, we're going to be divided as society,
Mm,
because uh, uh, contrary to that narrative, the narrative would be those in the ruling party wanted to make sure that she is kept out of office till October. Because
mm,
if she steps in, she may now resume her work as the public protector and interfere with cases they do not want her to interfere with. One of those key cases was the Palapala matter. She needed
absolutely.
to be kept out of office because they knew if she was going to be in office, she was going to find, in accordance with the Section 89 Independent Committee, which was chaired by a former Chief Justice, a senior counsel, that said there was prima facie evidence that the president had actually violated Executive Mayor, the Executive Ethics Act, EMEA, the PRECA Act, conflict of interest, the Constitution, and all the laws, applicable laws that we know of. They knew that she was going to find in that way. Now, remember, she has already pronounced on the sealed bank statements of the president. So this was not their first encounter. Remember also that the leaked audio, which Mr. Dirks was actually suspended for, when he asked that the president must appear before SCOPA, the public protector had already investigated that, amongst many things. So this was the third time that the president was meeting with the public protector. So on the basis of historic engagements or cases that they have actually interacted in, they could say the inclination would actually go, instead of allowing for the process to unfold, they said this one is going to be a problem for us. So society is going to be divided on this matter, because society, some of us are holding a strong view that the ruling party was running down the clock. so that the time expires. When time expires of the public protector at the helm of leadership at Public Protector South Africa, the cases that are hot and pertaining to the president. Look, the 56,000 cases, nobody is speaking about those. It's only these 7 cases, and those 7 cases, the majority of them, or a sizable number of them, are including the president and those closest to the president.
Okay, let's move on then and look at the request for secret ballot in respect of the report of the Section 194 Committee on the Public Protector. Why is there a request for a secret ballot? How is that going to serve the Public Protector or be a disservice or work against her?
So much. As the African Transformation Movement, we believe that we need to deal with a normalized ugly phenomenon that seeks to derail and nullify the importance of an oath of office or an affirmation that has been taken by members of parliament that pleads allegiance to the republic and not a particular political party. That pleads allegiance to obedience to the constitution of the country and not some Balula instructions and also allows that members of parliament with their inbuilt ability, capability, and integrity uphold the constitution even though subjected through or to unfavorable conditions, which include threats to life. Now, it is important that we protect the integrity of the process and of the members of parliament. Now, we have seen with the vote, the previous vote on the Section 89 report, that people were told if you do not vote in a particular way, you are going to, you may lose your livelihood. Sure. There are people in parliament who received SMSs that said, if you vote with the ATM on this matter, it will be your last day on earth. And cases have been opened with the police because you remember President Zungula got a death threat. President Nyonzo of the PAC got a death threat. President Holomisa of the UDM also got death threat. Now, the volatility of the environment does not allow them for members of parliament to exercise their duty and actually remain true to their oath of office, which prioritizes the people of this country and the constitution. Already,
okay.
When Mr. Mbalula was when Mr. Mbalula was speaking at the Western Cape conference, he already pronounced what the verdict of this particular undertaking is going to be, therefore directing members of ANC how to vote.
All right. What the public protector did indicate in a press briefing yesterday when she was outside of her offices is that if the inquiry, the findings of the inquiry is against her, she's not going to leave the matter and walk away quietly. She will then rely on overseas. She will go to, the highest possible places to assist her in redeeming her reputation and herself and possibly her position as well. And she alluded to going abroad or getting resources from abroad to help her take on this case in the biggest way possible. Would you know what is that all about and what are the resources she was alluding to, or what sort of services was she alluding to when she said she will get people from overseas to assist her in this case? She's not going to leave it here. She's not going to take it lying down.
As the African Transformation Movement, I think we must start by saying the public protector, she has every right as a citizen of this country, an employee of government, to explore every avenue possible to redeem herself. We can't run away from the fact that she is now labeled as incompetent. She is labeled as an individual who does not understand the law. She's labeled as a vindictive individual who is used by a faction. She is labeled as a result post this particular job. She may not even find a place of employment because of how she was lynched for doing what is right. So, as the African Transformation Movement, we support that the public protector must seek help wherever she can find it so that she can be able to live again. Because right now, even going down the street, there will be people who are throwing insults at her because they believe the propaganda, they believe the machinations, they believe the concocted charges that were leveled against her. So, as for which are those institutions, we are not privy to that. But we know that it is important that she must clear her name, and we have been by her side through this because we have seen how the institution, the sixth administration under the leadership of President Ramaphosa, has been doing nothing but showing signs of parading, degrading, lynching a black, educated, competent woman only to save a man at the helm of leadership.
My final question to you then, Zama, regarding assistance that she would seek from international courts, perhaps, because that's how I'm reading this. Um, is there an avenue for her to go that route, and will that not be against our South African constitution for her to get legal support and to fight a matter that is South African based from legal experts from abroad, some sort of international court?
South Africa is a signatory to a number of treaties around the world. This is why you see from time to time there is intervention by the ICC and all other bodies that are of a global stage. So it wouldn't be a peculiar undertaking that you find only in South Africa, where you have seen the intervention of the international community. When the liberation movements of South Africa went around the world mobilizing against apartheid, it was a necessary undertaking, and today we are happy they did, even though it went against the law, the statutes of the time. So I don't think that she must be afraid of that. She must go. South Africa is a signatory of international treaties, and if there is a violation against one, there are concocted charges. There is a way to that sticks to derail. In fact, that even suggests that there is a capture of the state where the judiciary, where the executive, where parliament are in a concerted effort to undermine the rights of an individual. That individual has a right to go to the international courts and say, there is a concerted effort that seeks to undermine me. I want to stand and claim my rights.
Zama Ntshona, ATM spokesperson, talking in support of the suspended public protector, the inquiry, where the final report has not yet been determined or disclosed. I guess it's going to be a few more days or weeks before we get to hear what was the outcome of that inquiry. And it is a story that we will be following very closely. Thank you indeed for your time and your insights. God bless. Take care.
Thank you so much to you and the viewers and listeners.
It is exactly 8:59 news and views on Salam Media. We will be joined by our correspondent Zai Jadwid with the bulletin on the top of the hour.